Happy Monday. Welcome to another week of the Chicago Chronicles. We are actually heading to the vet this evening just to pick up some medicine. Ollie ran out of his medicine this morning and he needs that for his diabetes, and it's very critical that he has that every day. We usually order it through the online pharmacy, but there was an issue with our payment because we had like a fraudulent charge on a credit card, and I didn't realize that that credit card was the one associated. Anyway, so his like regular subscription order didn't go through. So I was like, oh shoot, we realized it this morning, right? He went to get his medicine. Yeah. Like, oh. So anyway, we're heading to the vet now to get him an extra bottle. So now he'll have his order from the online pharmacy plus his bottle. So he'll be good for 4 months, which is great. All right, medicine acquired. Now we're good. And so now we are heading to dinner. My parents, we haven't seen them for like a few weekends.
Yeah, it's been a while. They've been all over the place.
Yeah, they've been out of town. I think last weekend they weren't feeling well, and we kind of wanted a low-key weekend anyway. So anyway, we're finally seeing them. They were in Traverse City just even this weekend, so we didn't even see them this weekend. But they just got back today, so we're meeting them for dinner at the Mark, which we don't. That's a place that we love. We don't eat there enough, and so when my mom said she wanted someplace close, I was like, what if we went to the Mark? So I was glad I remembered. Yeah. Well, we are back home from dinner. So we usually see my parents on Friday nights for dinner. And so about halfway through dinner, or I guess a little more than that, I was like, oh man, I just realized that it's not Friday night, it's Monday night. So I'm just so used to going out with them on Friday nights. I had like hit it in my brain that was like, oh, it's Friday night, but it's not, it's Monday night. Because that's generally what we do. But they're going to be actually leaving town again tomorrow. So this was like the one night we could see them for a while until they get back about a week or so from now. So they're just busy, so it's like hard to find time with them. So anyway, it was really good getting to visit, and the Mark is always really good. I think their burgers are fantastic. They do these like house-made pickles and then like pickled red onion, so yummy on there. And then my mom got these like little sliders. I think they were an appetizer, and it was like one was kind of like a burger and one was like a little chicken sandwich, but they were so cute. So anyway, always a good place to go, delicious, and I guess kind of a fun way to spend a Monday night. I'm on my way home from work. It was a very long day today. we had kind of like an extensive like leadership training thing that we were doing, plus just some like, I don't know, it's just more intense meetings. So it was a long day. I'm excited to be heading home. And Chris is out tonight because he is going to play Magic at I think it's like I don't know if it's a comic store, like a game store, and I think it's in the Wicker Park area. But I know he's doing that tonight, so I'm kind of on my own, which will be nice. I do have a lot of editing I need to do. I'm very behind I have a few videos that I need to edit that I've been working on. Our Chronicles that are going up on Friday, still need to edit those. And then we have a video we're doing on Sunday that's like ranking every restaurant on the Riverwalk. And I need to work on that one. So I've got my work cut out for me for sure, and I'm tired. Hi, Gertie. Hello. Hi. You ready to come out? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Look at you. You're so cute. So I stopped on my way home and this little fabric store that is off of Wabash. It's like this little like kind of hole in the wall place. And I'll show you here what I got. So it's so hard to describe the store. I did take a little bit of video, so I'll put that in here. It is like jam-packed full of it's just fabric everywhere. Like it's just like reams and reams of fabric everywhere. So I walked in and I'm like, do you have interfacing? So I needed some interfacing for the shirts that I'm making for Chris. And so he knew exactly where it was and was able to give it to me, but it's really funny because it's like, I just needed 2 yards and it was like all like totally packed on the ream. Like it was like a roll of toilet paper when you like, if you like tear a roll of toilet paper and then like, you know how it gets all like, you can't get like a single piece ripped off. Anyway, that's what this was like. So he just cut me off a whole bunch of it. Like literally like this, just this giant wad of interfacing, and he only charged me for 2 yards, but this is like an insane amount that will last me probably for the rest of my life. So I got that. So I had the interfacing that I need to make Chris's shirts, and I got some white buttons because I ordered buttons to go with the fabric except for one set because I was pretty sure that I had white buttons, and then when I started thinking about it, I realized I think I actually used those white buttons on the shirt that I literally just made for him. So I bought some more just in case. So I do have buttons for it, and I have interfacing. So I am prepared for that project because I think I'm going to work on it this weekend since it's a long weekend, because this weekend it'll be Labor Day weekend. So I thought it would be a really good time for me to try to knock out at least getting those shirts like cut maybe and get the interfacing attached even if I don't get the shirts pieced together. All right, I got that cleaned up. It actually was like several pieces. There is so much here. It's like way more than I need. But it was several pieces. So I got them kind of all the big pieces like folded up and stacked. I think it's about 4 pieces or so. And I also like kind of trimmed off any like kind of scraggly pieces and just sort of threw those away. So we have interfacing, plenty of interfacing for Chris's shirts and then future projects should I need it. Good morning. It is Wednesday morning. I usually cross the plaza here. I tend to walk that way. But there's like a bunch of people standing around and like news cameras. So I'm not going to walk through there. I don't know what's going on. So I'm going to walk around the other side of the post office. So I know Chris didn't vlog anything, or I don't think he did, but he said he had so much fun at the Magic event last night. So Magic the Gathering is like a card game. It's kind of like Pokemon, but it's, you know, different, like a different world, different characters, that kind of stuff. But he's been playing Magic for a lot of years. You may remember that he went to Magic Con in the spring. We had some friends come in town and they did that. But he really enjoys playing Magic. And since we've moved here, he really has not had a place to go play it or people to play with. So I've been encouraging him to go. I'm like, hey, just go like find a comic book store or a game store or a place that, you know, does it regularly and just go play. So this was the second week in a row of him going. He didn't have a great time last week, but he had a really good time last night. So I think the trick is kind of getting there when it starts. I think he got there a little bit late last week, so he kind of missed out on getting into kind of a group. But hopefully it will continue to be a success for him and he'll finally have kind of a place he can go so he can play Magic, which will be really good. Normally, Chris is off on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. That's like almost all summer. That's what he's been doing. But this week he's off Tuesday and Thursday. So he's actually working today, but he doesn't go into work. He's closing, so he doesn't go until like 2 o'clock. So we'll only have a little bit of an overlap where we're both gone. And rather than kind of changing my plan, I went ahead and decided to go in. Gertie will just be in her pin for a couple of hours before I get home this evening. So I may see if I can pop home before my last meeting, but I think I'm pretty stacked today. So she may have to wait till the end of my day. But the good news is, you know, it's good for her to experience this sometimes. It's good for her to be in her pen and be away from us for a little bit. I just hate for it to be too terribly long. So, but a few hours isn't too bad. And then I'll have another evening to myself. So I did get some editing done last night, so I was really glad about that. And I've got a little bit more I want to work on, so I'll probably do that some tonight. And then just kind of chill out and enjoy my evening.
Letting Gertie out. Just taking her on a walk in a little area I call the Lost Woods. She just loves sniffing, but I'm trying really hard not to let her wallow in smells because she really likes to do that, and we don't want her to stink. But whenever she just finds this spot that she does want to wallow in, she's really obstinate about going away from it. She's like pulls and pulls and pulls. That's what she's doing right now because she's found another spot. Something smelly. Oh, Gertie. Not supposed to be doing that. Come on. Come on. Stop. Come on. Gertie, stop. Come on.
Well, it's 6 o'clock, and I am on my way home from work. It has been a very long day. I have been in meetings nonstop. My last meeting that was scheduled for half an hour took an hour and a half, and then I had another half-hour discussion following that meeting. So it was a long, long day. And to make matters worse, poor Gertie has been in her pin since Chris left because this was the day that we overlapped. And I didn't think it'd be too big of a deal because I thought, oh, okay, I'll be home, by 5. Not so. So I think she's only been in her pen for maybe about 4 hours, so it won't be too terrible, but I feel so bad. But I'm gonna stop and get dinner because I don't have the energy to make any kind of decision or do anything even as difficult as, cooking a frozen pizza. So I'm just gonna stop and get something on my way home because I'm tired. One massive difference coming home this late compared to when I normally walk home is just how empty the sidewalks are. It's like really wild. Like everyone has made their mass exodus. So it's very few of us left walking home. Okay, I got bibimbap, which is all gluten-free. So everything that they serve there is gluten-free, including their cookies. So I got one cookie, but he went ahead and gave me two because I couldn't decide between the snickerdoodle or the chocolate chip, and he was like, I'll just charge you for one, but you can have both. Okay, it is the Friday before Labor Day weekend, and I'm kind of getting dinner ready. Chris is still at work, but he'll be home, by dinner time. So I'm gonna be making dinner. Oh yes, these are already pitted. Amazing, these are already pitted. So I'm getting things ready for dinner. So we are having an appetizer night. We will do this every now and then where we make a couple of different appetizers. I'm only making 2 tonight. A lot of times we'll do 3. And we'll literally just like munch on appetizers. It's a lot of fun. So I'm putting together the bacon wrapped dates. So these are medjool dates that and thankfully Chris bought the already pitted ones, so it makes my life a lot easier. So you open up the dates, stuff them with goat cheese, which I have here, and then you wrap them in bacon and bake them. They are delicious. So it's earlier still in the afternoon because of the holiday weekend. We got out of work a little early today. So I was like, well, I'm going to go ahead and get this stuff prepared. And then that way we can just throw it in the oven when Chris gets home for our appetizer night. So we usually will do this and then like kind of watch a fun movie. So I thought I would put these together now. So just to make life a little bit easier once Chris gets home. So we're making these, the goat cheese stuffed bacon wrapped dates. And then the other appetizer we're making is called Dirty Hummus. And it is an appetizer there's this restaurant we used to love when we lived in Northern Kentucky that was called York Street Cafe. And they had this appetizer that was so phenomenal called Dirty Hummus. And it sounds weird for sure, but it's so good. And it's like hummus with topped with some barbecue sauce, and then it has like I think like peppers, red onion, I can't remember what else, like on top of it, and then like melted cheese. It sounds really weird. And when you like think about all of the ingredients that are in it, you're like, that doesn't sound like it would taste good, but it actually is incredible. Now obviously we can't do it with pita. They served it with pita because I can't have gluten anymore. So we will make it with like a gluten-free baguette instead because I have yet to find gluten-free pita readily available in places. So anyway, I'm going to be prepping all of that. So I will share that with you now. And when I get to the hummus, I'll walk you through kind of the whole recipe because it is really, really, really good. Okay, so I have all of these prepared. So basically, I'll show you how you piece them together. These are super duper easy to make. You take the date, cut open. Again, if you have pits in them, you remove the pits. These thankfully were already pitted. And then you just kind of like put the goat cheese inside. It's a little messy, so be prepared to wash your hands a lot because it's a very messy process. But you just kind of fill it full of the goat cheese. If you overstuff it a little bit, you can kind of pull some of it out. So it looks like that when it's done. And then you I just take like half a slice of bacon because you don't really need a whole slice. And you just wrap it around like so. And then you take a toothpick. So I just already pre-portion out how many toothpicks I need. And then you just put a toothpick down to kind of hold the bacon in place. And then you make sure it just kind of comes barely through the bottom and set that aside. So super easy to piece together. And then when you bake them, I think that I can't remember what temperature. I'll put it all in the description box below. So if you want to like try to make these, you can. But you bake them at, I want to say it's like around 400. Again, I'll put it in the description box because I can't remember. For just like, you do cook them for kind of a while. It's like 35, 40, maybe even 45 minutes. It's like kind of like nice and slow. So maybe it's like 375. But The bacon will cook up really nicely, and of course, like warm the dates through. This is literally one of my favorite things in the whole wide world to eat. They're so delicious, but they're also really good left over. So we'll eat, you know, a few of them obviously tonight during dinner, and then we'll have a few left over that we'll kind of munch on throughout the day. And then I just take them straight out of the refrigerator and have them cold when they're left over, and they're like little like candies. They're so yummy. I absolutely love them. So I have them all ready to go. I will just pop these in the fridge until we're ready to cook them. But super easy. It took me, I don't know, 5-10 minutes at most to get it done. We got a little bit of goat cheese left over. We have a few dates left over and a little bit of bacon left over. With the leftovers, so we also have like some wraps left over from when we did Ronto wraps. So I'm thinking that in the morning, Chris closes tomorrow, so we'll have a little bit of time in the morning. So I think we could, with the rest of the bacon that's left, and some of the goat cheese, and maybe even some of the peppers and onions that'll be left from the hummus, because we probably won't use all of those for that. I was thinking we could make like scrambled eggs with like, or maybe even like, well, not omelets, but probably like eggs and like wraps with like the kind of with all the leftovers in them, like the goat cheese and the bacon and like the peppers and stuff. I think that'd be really good. Okay, I'm taking a look here at my recipe binder, and the bacon wrap dates cook they cook at 375, and it says to cook them for 35 minutes. I think I usually bake them a little bit longer than that. I kind of like watch the bacon, and basically once it looks like it's like kind of done enough for my liking, that's usually when I get them out. And then this is the dirty hummus. So the dirty hummus has hummus, plain hummus, which Chris bought roasted red pepper, so it'll be a little bit interesting because we didn't buy plain hummus. Green bell pepper, red onion, garlic, salt and pepper, and then barbecue sauce and shredded cheddar cheese. So you saute the pepper and onions until they are soft in a little bit of oil, and then you season that with salt and pepper. Add the garlic, saute for a little bit more, and then before you remove it from the heat. And then you're gonna spread the hummus in kind of like a baking dish, and then like along the bottom, top that with all the sauteed peppers and onions, and then spread the barbecue sauce over on top of that. Top it with the cheese. It says a generous layer of cheese, and bake it at 350 for 15 minutes. We'll probably still bake it at the 375 because that's what we're gonna bake these for. I'm sure it'll be fine. And then it says to change it over to broil until the cheese gets bubbly. So we'll kind of bake it to warm it through, and then broil it at the very end to bubble up the cheese. We got this recipe from York Street Cafe. The restaurant sadly has closed since we moved here to Chicago, and I was really sad about that, but the owner wanted to retire and no one wanted to take over the restaurant. But this was our favorite dish when we went there, and they were kind enough to give us the recipe when we moved away so that we could make it on our own. So we've only made it, I think, 1 or 2 other times, but I'm really looking forward to that. So I'm gonna work on that now. Okay, I have the onions and peppers for the hummus chopped up here, and then I've got some other chopped up that we can use for breakfast tomorrow. So I figured we'd have leftovers. So get these sauteed and ready for the hummus. I'm just gonna get the vegetables started now. And then I'm a little concerned that there's not enough hummus in that container of hummus. I think when we've made this in the past, I've made the hummus, but I didn't want to do that this time, although I'm kind of gonna end up sort of doing it. Although I don't have any tahini. But I do have cans of like garbanzo beans. So I think what I'm going to do is actually take the hummus that Chris bought and actually mix in with the food processor some, like a can of garbanzo beans, just to kind of like bulk it up a little bit, with a little bit of additional oil probably. So hopefully we'll have enough of the hummus. I'm a little bit concerned that it won't be quite up at the base. I do have 2 cans of the beans, so if I need to, I can put 2 of them in there. But like I said, I don't have any tahini, so I'm a little bit worried about that. I don't want to change the consistency too much, but we'll give that a try and see what happens. Okay, so while those are cooking, I'm gonna add the can of garbanzo beans to this hummus and blend it up. I'm just gonna do it all together. This is a nice like thick layer in the base of this dish, and then I'm gonna just top it off with my sauteed pepper and onions. These do have some salt and pepper in them, as well as some garlic. I just used jarred garlic this time, so I didn't have any fresh on hand. It would probably be better with fresh, but this will do for this evening. And then you just kind of like spread it out on top there like that. For the barbecue sauce, I'm gonna use this one from Trader Joe's. This is like a thick, kind of sweet barbecue sauce. I think that will go best with dirty hummus. That's the kind of barbecue sauce that they used at York Street Cafe. It was a kind of a thicker, sweeter barbecue sauce, versus like like a spicier, kind of more vinegary barbecue sauce. So I'm just gonna put kind of a layer there. So just kind of like spread that out there over the, I actually don't know how much barbecue sauce to add, so I might have added a little too much, but. And then it expressly says a generous layer of shredded cheese. So we will be generous here. That's probably pretty good there. And then I'm actually just gonna pop this in the fridge until we're ready to bake it. I'll probably bake it with the lid on to warm it through until we're ready to broil the cheese a little bit. While I'm waiting on Chris to get home from work so we can start cooking our appetizers for appetizer night and decide what movie we're gonna watch, I wanted to share some devastating news that I got today. I was really upset about. So I have been eating the same brand of granola and yogurt for years now. When we lived in Northern Kentucky, we used to order our groceries from a company called Green Bean. It was like a grocery delivery service. And that's where I first tried the granola. It was a brand that they sold called Whirlybird, and it's so delicious. And they have a few different flavors. They have like a chocolate flavor, blueberry, and then they have kind of just like their original flavor, which is like, has like a couple different dried fruits and like some different seeds and nuts and stuff in it. It's fantastic granola, and I love it so much. And since we moved to Chicago, I didn't know where to buy that because I couldn't obviously get it from my Green Bean anymore because we stopped using that service because they don't deliver in Chicago. And so I found out that I could just order direct from them. So I've been like on a subscription with them for a while where I just order it and get the subscription. Are you doing this on purpose? Is this a game that you're playing? Keeps like knocking it over, so I have to go get it. Anyway, so I got an email today saying that they are discontinuing the Whirlybird brand. I guess it's owned by like another bigger brand maybe, and they're no longer going to carry my yogurt. And not only was it that devastating news what I got today, but I also found out that my order that was about to ship is not going to be filled. So I have 2 bags currently that are unopened, and I just opened a bag this morning. So I'm down to 3 bags left, and I'm so upset because I'm like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do about breakfast? Because it's my favorite thing in the whole wide world. And I've tried other granolas, and I don't like them as well. So I'm sorely disappointed, and so I'm dealing with the grief currently on that to try to get through and make it through this trying time, not having my granola that I love. So I do think I can probably look up some recipes online and maybe find something that's similar. And thankfully, like I can still get my brand of yogurt that I love, but I'm just like so sad. It was just really devastating news to get. So Chris is home now. Do you want to say hi?
Hello.
So I am I'm ready to put stuff in the oven. I've got it heated up, but I realized that like I had put the Pyrex in the fridge, and then I was like, do you think it's bad to put a cold Pyrex into the fridge? Turns out it is. I Googled it.
In the oven.
Yeah, a cold Pyrex directly into the oven from the fridge is what I meant to say. I Googled it. It is bad. So rather than wait for this to come up to temperature, I've just transferred it to a different Pyrex container because I'm hungry and I don't want to wait. So we're going to get this in the oven, and then this will cook so the bacon wrap dates will cook for 35 minutes. Like I said, I might do it a little bit longer even than that. The hummus only needs like 15 minutes. So I went ahead and got that dish out so it can come up to room temperature. But I'm going to get the bacon wrap dates in the oven. So the other part that we need to make is the bread. I have this gluten-free baguette. It's a Char brand. So like I said, at York Street Cafe, they served it with gluten-free pita bread. I have never found gluten-free pita bread like at the grocery store. I get it from Rhodey, which is a restaurant here that I love. It's the only place I've ever been able to get gluten-free pita. I actually contemplated reaching out to them to see if I could buy gluten-free pita, but we had this one already in the freezer. So I was like, we'll just make this. It'll be fine. So I'm going to just like slice this up and then probably just like toast it a little bit. I think that will be good for us to dip into the hummus. Okay, this is the bacon wrap dates out of the oven. They look so delicious. So excited. And we have the dirty hummus is heated through. I did go ahead and add just a little bit more cheese on top. I did add just a little bit more cheese on top And then it's just kind of sitting here warming because I am currently broiling the baguette. I just flipped the baguette. I did like the one side for a couple minutes, and now I flipped it and I'm broiling the other side. Just kind of toast them up just a little bit. And then I'll pop the hummus in to broil the cheese, and then we'll be ready to eat. Okay, here's the spread. Bacon wrapped dates. We've got our toasted baguettes for the dirty hummus, which is now nice and bubbly. Good morning / afternoon. Because it's technically
like
afternoon now. It is Saturday, and you're heading to work.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Kind of late.
Yeah. We're going to let Gertie go potty real quick, and we're walking out there. You are working the lake today.
Yeah, and then the river.
And in the river, yeah.
'Cause it's the last fireworks weekend, so we are sold out double.
So as soon as Gertie picks her spot to go potty, we'll head that way and drop Chris off at the lake. But we thought it's such a beautiful day, we'd head out with him and take Gertie on a little bit of a walk. We did make the eggs this morning with like the leftover. I took the onions and peppers that were left from making the dirty hummus last night with like some of the bacon that was left from the dates, and made some breakfast burritos, breakfast wraps. They were really good. But just enjoying this lovely Labor Day weekend. I keep forgetting that I also have Monday off, and I keep getting really excited about it every time I remember. So looking forward to a nice long weekend. You can see they are setting up for Taste of Chicago. That is next weekend. Also Run Mag Miles next weekend, and Lit Fest. So it'll be a very busy, very full weekend. We're kind of hitting like the closeout of summer now because it's the end of August going into September. So we're kind of hitting those last like kind of summer type activities before it's fall, which is also a great season in Chicago. But it is a little less busy, a little fewer festivals, that kind of stuff going on that time of year for sure. Hi. We have left Chris, and Gertie is not happy about it. So anytime we walk out here, she's like, wait, you left Dad. Like, what are you doing? So she keeps trying to trick me. I'll pick her up and carry her for a little bit, and then she's like, okay, I can get down now. And then she'll like try to run back that direction. So I'm like, no, we're going home. Come on, baby. Gertie's ready for a bit of a rest. Figured we could sit here for a minute before we head back. Just enjoy a little bit of the lake. All right, I wanted to cross Lakeshore Drive over by Buckingham Fountain so we could walk by Buckingham. And as we were crossing the road, there was a little dachshund crossing with his parents. It was so cute. You can see they're setting up for Taste here. Taste happens like kind of all up and down Columbus, and then here around Buckingham Fountain. I wish that I could show you like the magnitude of this fountain via camera, but I know it doesn't do it justice. Hey, Gert. You ready to go home? You look tired. A few hours have passed. I'm home now. I have been editing. I've been working on a video that I was hoping would come out tomorrow, but I think it's not going to be till Monday. So that's okay though. It's just a video like ranking all the restaurants on the Riverwalk, one of our favorite places in Chicago. So I thought it would be a good one for kind of one of our like sort of tourism videos for those people who may be interested in traveling to Chicago. So I've been working on that this afternoon, and I am not as far along as I would like to be to have it posted tomorrow. So planning on posting that on Monday, but probably ready to kind of like chill out for the rest of the night. I may get my cross stitch out here in a little bit and work on that, but I got to figure out dinner first. So I'm probably going to end up doing leftovers from what we had last night, most likely. Got to feed this one. I think she is really pooped from her walk today. She's been like pretty much asleep all afternoon, but we got to get her fed and then figure out what I'm going to eat. So tomorrow, Chris is working in the morning. He opens tomorrow, but I am going to meet him on the Riverwalk, and we'll grab a bite and hang out there for a little bit before coming home. So I'll probably take you along then. And then I think I may carry this weekly vlog into Monday, since Monday's a holiday. So still thinking about that, but I'm probably going to do that just because it's like that feels like the end of the weekend this time, even though it's technically a Monday. So we'll see how that works out.
So I'm at work. Yeah, I'm at work, and I'm trying. I see a cormorant, which is like
pop up anywhere.
It's one of my favorite animals. So I'm gonna see where it pops up. Yeah, he just came up right here. He went in like over here somewhere, but they're so awesome. It's like one of my favorite animals. There he goes again. See if he comes up with anything. Sometimes they come up with a little like 4-inch fish. I don't know. Where's it at? Oh, there it is, over there. Yeah, cormorants are awesome. They can like hold their breath for like up to a minute. They can dive like 30 feet. So just went down again. I think it's been successful. All right, so I'm at work, and you can see over here on Lakeshore Drive, they're doing Bike the Drive. So just like all the cyclists are up along the lakefront, or the Lakeshore Drive. What's up, Mindy? I always wanted to do it, but I don't know. It's a lot of money, and then plus I have to work a lot of times. So one day, it looks really cool.
We're at the river.
I've been here.
Yeah, you've been here all day. So Gertie's with us. She's making a scene. There you go. Say hi, Gert. She bounced up for a second. So we're here eating dinner at a different place tonight. We're eating at O'Brien's instead of at Taco Rio. One of the videos I'm putting together is ranking all the restaurants on the Riverwalk, and I realized we haven't eaten here in a long time, and so I really didn't have a ton of footage of O'Brien's. So I wanted to make sure we got some and had a fresh try of it to make sure, you know, our ranking was fair. All right, so we both got burgers. I got the gluten-free bun, and Chris said he wanted the same one, and so he ended up with sweet potato fries, which you didn't necessarily want, but you're all right with. So, well, dinner's done.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
You had low expectations.
The lowest.
Yeah, it definitely is not one of the better places on the Riverwalk for sure. But I'm glad we tried it again. Yeah. That was good. And it's a lovely evening.
Yeah, so the weather is amazing today. It's like
perfect.
It's still warm, but it doesn't feel too warm.
No, and when you're in the shade and you have a nice cool breeze, it feels incredible. So it's really nice. And but you're kind of ready to go home.
I'm wore out. This weekend has been a lot, and I got work tomorrow too.
I was gonna say we still have one more day of the weekend, because it's Labor Day weekend. But I did decide we are gonna go ahead and close out the vlog here because it's real long already. I started editing it today, and I was like, oh dear, we got a lot going on. So. We are going to go ahead and close out here. So this has been another week of the Chicago Chronicles. And we will pick you back up tomorrow in next week's episode. We'll see you in the next one.